should have been, factor into that, and how much do you guys talk about that?
A lot. I mean, that's always part of the evaluation. It's, you know, you want results, but you got to be process oriented, you know, when you play the position, and we've got to be on the right side of the field and have our eyes in the right place and our feet and timing and all that factors in. So anytime we look at a pass play, we look at all the factors that play into it, whether it was a successful or not successful play and why.
You feel like you got away with a couple on Saturday?
Well, I think, you know, there's a couple, you know, that I'm sure they feel like they should have had, and obviously, you know, we look at it as well. You know, why were we there? Was the timing wrong? Were we on the wrong side of the field? Did we make a poor decision? You know, and the biggest thing is that goes back to communication. And we talk all the time in our room. We've got to be open in communication, because if I don't know what he's seeing, I can't help him. You know, and so you got to tell me what you see, what happened, what played out in your mind, so that, you know, now we can paint the real picture of what happened, so we can get it corrected.
How much extra does game performance count in terms of evaluation as opposed to practice? I'm thinking in particular in this instance of Drake Johnson.
Well, I think obviously anytime you play a game, the goal is to play well, and the best players in games are the guys you want to play. Now, that being said, we evaluate practice every day. Guys challenge and compete, and usually it's very rare that you have a player that does not practice well that plays well.
But does that, what he did, give him maybe an extra look in terms of more snaps going forward?
Well, I think that, you know, you talk about Drake and what he accomplished. It goes back to everything we've talked about and the development of players. And, you know, it's kind of similar. It is very similar. When I look back at where Derek Green was at, and we talked about right before Derek got hurt, he had 2 really good weeks of practice and really had started to kind of develop. And you look at Drake, really with the opportunity once Derek got injured in the last 2 weeks, has had 2 outstanding weeks of practice. Had the opportunity this week, did some great things, and really excited, you know, about what he brings.
Okay. Piggybacking on what we were talking about,
Yeah.
so how did Devin grade out? How would you evaluate him in that game?
Devin did some really good things, and he did some things we need to correct. You know, obviously, you know, 22 of 29, you know, completed some balls, did some good things, 2 touchdowns. Obviously, the 1 interception we'd like to have back, and there was a couple other decisions. But he did some good things, and he did some things that we corrected.
Doug, in terms of just going back to Drake a little bit, with those 16 carries, I mean, I know it's not a lot, but it seems like he showed on those few handfuls of carries a little bit more than maybe what Davion has shown on 77 attempts. Can you just say what you like about him, what you notice about him?
Well, I think you're talking about 2 different styles of runner, too. You know, and we talked a little bit about this earlier in the year when you had Derek and Davion playing 2 different styles of backs. You know, I said all along, Davion's that downhill thumper between the tackle, pounder type guy, and Drake did a nice job. I think you've got to look at the big picture too, and we talk about this all the time. It's an 11-man game, and the offensive line did an outstanding job in this game. You know, we protected better than we protected all season long. We averaged 5.8 a rush. Give those guys some credit too. They did a great job, and not to discredit anything Drake did. Drake had an outstanding game too, but those guys did a heck of a job up front. Proud of what they accomplished.
Greg?
I think you might have just kind of answered that, but this is the first game since Miami where you've been able to have 1 rush with over 100 yards. Was that something that Drake did, or you think that was something that was a big performance from the line?
I think it's a combination of 11 guys. Okay. You know, and I'll go to this too. I didn't feel like this game was our best game on the perimeter from our wideouts in the blocking part of things. You know, and they take a lot of pride in that. And we challenged them this week because they have. Over the course of the season, blocked tremendously well on the perimeter, and we didn't have one of our better games blocking on the perimeter. We will block better on the perimeter, and those guys take that, you know, to heart because they take great pride in that. And you know, when they get downfield and make blocks, it helps spring big runs, and we preach that all the time. So it's an 11-man game. It's about the quarterback getting us in the right run. If we need to be in one run versus the other, it's about the guys securing the holes. It's about the back hitting the right hole. So it goes back to, as we've talked, you got to have consistency in all groups to perform well.
I mean, today though, I mean, not today, I'm sorry, Saturday, those things just clicked when they haven't before, or is that something where you've seen that and then finally everything came together?
Well, I think that, you know, said all along, we can continue to have improvement from individuals and trying to get group improvement. I thought we had really group improvement this week.